Hey guys, Tepco Cycle Repair. Today I'm working on an all-wheel drive Husqvarna mower with the 725 Briggs & Stratton engine on it. This one right here. This was just dropped off. They don't know what's wrong with it. Clean the carburetor, it won't run. I felt it has very little compression. I'm going to show you how I troubleshoot it, what's going on. I got something really cool that I'm looking at right there that you guys won't be able to see till the end of the video, and I'll show you in the background. But pay attention in the background when this video starts. And guys, do me a favor, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It really helps me out. This channel is growing, and it's because of you guys. Thank you. Let's get started. Okay, no start, but it feels like it has no compression, all right? And we gotta check for sparks, so let me get it back up on the bench. All right, we got good spark. Let me see if you can see that. I got the tester in there. All right, spark. All right, so what does that mean? Now we got spark. So either the timing is off or there's no compression and it feels really low. So let's put a gauge on it. So this is the plug that came out of it. That's not good, boys and girls. Look at that. What does that mean? That's the wrong plug. Made contact. All right, keep prying away. So I'm getting 30 pounds of compression. Yep, 30. It's not going to start with 30. Let's find out why. All right, so you can see the contact inside there on the valve. I'm going to guess that valve got bent from that because it has no compression. So we'll keep pulling it apart. All right, so with that low compression, we got to confirm the valve is bent simply by taking the valve out and checking it out. It's not too hard to do on this one. We're going to pull the exhaust off here and going to pull the head off. And at that point, we can probably spray some fluid in there and see it leaking past the valve, or we can just continue to pull the valve out, take the spring out, and then spin the valve, and you'll be able to see it's bent. All right, so it's time to open this up and see what's going on inside. So first thing I did is just take the pull cable off of the handle, and then I got to take the flywheel stop off of here. This is the safety. So we're just going to pull this right here, pop this out, and then pull the cable off. And you can see I got the oil extractor, just getting all the oil out, whatever's left inside there. Just when I open it up, doesn't make a mess. It's a regular extractor. And then for this here, you just squeeze this. Plastic tabs. And then push it backwards. Just pull it. Lift it up through the slot. And that's it, and it's clear. So now the engine is clear, except for the bolts onto the chassis and the belt drives for the front and rear drive in this four-wheel drive unit. All right, so I got it flipped up on its side right now. Next thing we got to do is get the belts and everything off so we can pull the engine. So we're going to zap this off right here with an impact, and then we're going to take this bolt off right here, and there's tabs right here to get this plastic cover off, and that'll expose all the belts that you can see underneath there. See, there's our belt system and everything for the drive. And then our engine mounts and everything are hiding in there. You can see one of them hiding right there. And with this out of the way, we'll be able to get to all that. That one was a 1/2 inch down at the bottom. And then up top here on the other side, you have that black one right there and that one right there. And those are 5/16. All right, and then with all that off, this will just come off of here. All right, so the bolts that are holding the engine on are this one right here, and this one right here. So we got to get those off, and we also have to get the belt out of the way. So this belt here, you can just about pull it off. You're just working through some of these stops, and all right, just like that. And that'll get it out enough so you can pull the engine out of there, because that one will be pulled out of the way. So that's all we need to do for that. And now we got to get these this pulley off right here so we can get this bolt off, and that's just the center nut right there. And then we'll take these two off, and then the engine will just come off. So with that one off right there, this whole setup of the belts and everything, you can just move it out of the way. All right, so with that out of the way, this is just sitting on here. So you can just pull this off. It's got a keyway in there, and that's all you got. And this is out of the way. Because you have to have this off in order to pull. So sometimes they're mounted on. This one's not mounted on, except for the bolt that holds the blade. So the blade holds the belt and everything on here, okay? That's what's holding this on. So with that off, it makes it real simple. That's out of the way. So now we got to take these off, so I got to get some help in here to hold the engine while I take those off. And then with these two, 1, 2, this engine will come right off. All right, now with the engine off, I got it flipped over on a piece of cardboard. I'm going to go ahead and take all these bolts out of the bottom to get the case off here. And these are 3/8. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's take all those off, knock this off, and we're going to see what's going on in here. Alright guys, so I rotated around and I checked the timing, and the timing is right. You just line up that mark right there, that tooth, with this one right here, dot, and that was lined up fine. But let me show you what happened. Alright, so if you look at this here, these are not supposed to be like that, where they're all bent out of shape. You can grab this gear, the cam and the gear, and rotate it now. See that? So what happens there is that the timing, who knows where it's supposed to be, because it's not rotating in the right place. So these are supposed to be up inside of here into these two tabs, but they're damaged and they're rotating, so the timing is way off. I'm just going to order up a new cam for this engine and a new gasket, base gasket, and it should be good to go. Let me get those ordered up. Alright guys, so the new camshaft came in, and you can see that's how the metal pieces are supposed to be, and nothing rotates on this, it stays solid. And the problem here, you can also see a crack in there. Okay, right there. And then this gear is spinning on the shaft. So we're going to put it back together again. I'm working on cleaning up all the gaskets here. Clean all the gaskets up. Make sure you got nothing inside there. I'm also using a red scuff pad with some brake cleaner, and that'll give me the final finish on this. And make sure you do it on the cover as well. So let me get that all cleaned up. Alright, so with the gasket surfaces all cleaned up, I got the cam in. And I just, if you put the mark right here, the lobes are in a way that they're not pushing the valves up. So you're able to slide it right in there. You don't want to put it in a way where you have to push the valves up. So, you know, this mark right here where this one is works fine. Now here's the oil slinger and the governor. This just sits inside of there, and I'll show you how it goes into the main case here. So the case cover. So here's the case cover here. When this is in, it sits right in there. All right. And it'll get held in place. So when you put the cover back on, it's going to kind of walk it in place. It has a tab right there that sits in the bottom. So it'll work its way in to the right place. So when you're putting it in here, just make sure you put it in. And then put the tip of it on the governor where it belongs right there. Okay, and then when you put the cover on, just be aware of that. Try to get the engine as flat as it can so it doesn't swing anyway when you put it down on there, and just drop it down on it, it'll be fine. So let me get the gasket on there. Alright, gasket is in place. The locating pins right here will help line everything up. So now I'm going to put a little bit of lube on here so it slides in easily into the seal, and a little bit on here so everything slides nice on the first startup. So let me get that done. Just using some Lucas assembly lube. Alright, gasket is sitting on there. I got the engine level, so we're just going to work this on. And just remember, you're trying to get the camshaft into the camshaft hole here, and then the crankshaft straight down in there. Everything else should line up. You'll know because it'll drop on. Just don't force anything, nice and gentle. Alright, when you get it all lined up, just tap it all the way down. Alright, So we're all down here. Now all the bolts in the bottom are all the same size. We're just going to drop those all back in. All right, we'll get these all tightened up. All right, and we are good to go. All right, so with that all together there, I'm just going to check it. We're going to make sure everything spins good. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the, this is the release for the flywheel, so you can just pull this. I got the spark plug out, and everything rotates good. All right, so with everything spinning good, I'm going to throw it back on the mower so we can get it back on, mounted up, cables and everything, put some oil in it, fire it up. Let me get it mounted up. All right, so I got the 3 mounts right here for the engine, 2, 3. Okay, this is how they go on. So now we got to wrap the belt, and we have the main pulley that goes on here. So we got to wrap the belt around that one, and then put the other one back up on here. All right, so with that all back on there, we're going to put the plastic cover that goes on here. And remember, we got the 2 up on top, and then the one that mounts right down here for the plastic cover before we put the blade on. All right, so I'm putting the safety on here. Just hook it in here, pull it back, click it in right there. All right, so the safety is good, and then we just got to put our pull start and our top orange cover back on with the 2 Phillips head screws right here. All right, going to put a new plug in here and put some fuel in it, and we'll see if it starts up. Remember the short plug on these. All right, let's see if it starts. All right, so let's go over a couple things in this build. There has to be a weak point somewhere in the engine, and in this case, it's this plastic cam. If this was steel, the valve would have bent, and it would have been a replacement valve. I think the cost ends up being about the same. So there's got to be a weak point somewhere in the engine. Something is going to break if you put the wrong spark plug in, or you somehow stop the piston, or something happens like that. So make sure with these, you put the short spark plug in there. Make sure you're putting the right one in. Just by putting that long spark plug in, it caused all this havoc. It really wasn't a hard job to do. And you saw it started first pull, and that was just, I just pulled it off the bench and put it on the ground, and it started first pull. So guys, hopefully this helps you out. If you get one that's not running, get real low compression, check your valves and make sure your timing is right. And you can do that by just pulling, either looking through your spark plug hole or pulling your head off and watching when your valves are opening and seeing if they're opening at the right time. And if they're not, then you got to dig into it and check it out. So again, guys, hopefully this helps you out. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications. Until next time, this is Tepco Sock Repair. Look, see my new shop's coming together. There's the slab.